इतनी सुंदर लड़की से बात कर रहा है।
Our next guest who's managing money pretty well, Gaurav Chauhan. You've been working for almost 4 years, and that's not a very long time when it comes to the workforce. But you're very sure in what you invest your money in.
Initially, I was not sure actually. Like any adolescent or any other guy was just 21, 22 years old. He's working. He's not too sure. The best way out is actually selling. And because my dad has been investing money for around 40 years and he has managed very well at the end of retirement. So I asked him and he showed me the best way out. And right now I'm standing in such a position when there is no chaos. First of all, I'm not using any credit cards. Yes, I'm anti-credit. I used one in my college days. That was in my father's name. So in a month's time of 45 days, I started off around 41,000.
And after that?
And after that, it took around 2 or 2.5 years to pay it back. The main reason was not that the 41,000 was not there to pay back. But why 41,000? Just a 45 days span. So that was the main question, and I wasn't able to answer. So credit card, I was totally anti, and I stick to the decision for the rest of the life that I spent.
Yeah, so you just said that, okay, that's a dangerous area for you.
Even if you have 2,000 bucks to spend for the whole month, you can save it very well. You can manage it very well. You can save around 200 bucks. You can save 10 to 20% out of the earnings you are making, and plus you can manage the rest of the money very well. There is no need for credit
You have
card.
like a first budget in mind. I know you pay an EMI for a car, your own car, you invest in property, house as well. So you're paying off, you've taken certain loans, and you've kind of divided your monthly paycheck into certain things that you should pay off. So how did you reach this point where you realize that okay, I need to budget my money, and how do you do that?
When one realizes that I'm earning, but I do not spend this much. Like 15 or 18,000 is quite a handsome amount for a person who is 22 or 23 years old. But I was spending double of that. Then I need to have a thought about it. Where should I spend or where should I save or where should I manage the money out? So I asked my dad. So the investment that one smart guy should make at this point in time is property. Invest the money in property and it will boom like anything in the next 10 years.
When we asked Delhi whether they plan their budget in advance, and this is what that's it. If I'm the value which I'm getting, it's not that I can spend a whole salary at the end of the year. I have to show my declaration. The tax would be
इतना मोटा सा हो गया पप्पा दीदी
और मुझे पता सीट पे जाके बैठ के ऐसा करो वो हमें लग रहा है क्योंकि हम जानते हैं कि मुझे पता है कि वो सीट पे जाके ऐसे करेंगे
आगे
बात समझिए बात है ना आसान बात नहीं है
talking to you about growing up money. So what are your expenses like other than the responsible part of your month, where you say, this are responsible things that I'm doing. What are the fun things that you do when you blow up your money on?
Our weekend is the fun part of the week.
Yeah.
And twice a month I go for a party and all. If there is a private party going on, so there is no need for spending the money. Yeah, if I'm invited there. And surely if I'm going out for discotheque, then 2,000 bucks is the minimum amount then one needs to spend.
So you even budget that if it's a party, then this is the kind of money that will go in.
If you are managing well and your mindset is good, that you are satisfied at the end of the month that I've spent this much, I've saved this much. So rest one can spend it like anything.
And do whatever you want. I think it's very unusual for somebody Gaurav's age to have such a responsible financial management plan. I think people are becoming increasingly aware of that now. One, maybe just because of the stories that we hear about the difficulties people get themselves into. And the second is that there's a lot more information that is available today in terms of what are the investments that you can make and how you can, double your money in this and all of that. So that concept sounds attractive. But I think one of the other elements that is probably coming out in what Gaurav is sharing with us today is the fact that he's grown up in an environment where there seems to have been responsible attitudes towards money spending. And Gaurav, you mentioned that you looked up to your father because you believe that he managed his money very well. And I definitely believe, again, like many other things, a lot of our attitudes towards the way we manage our money come from the environment where we have grown up. So the way our parents might have managed their finances, and that doesn't mean that you need to know the intricate details of how much they earned and what they invested in, but that kind of a message. Yes, very simple ways. For example, although there might be a lot of resources that a family has, there would be a disciplining when it comes to a child about what the child can spend on or not spend on. And just that kind of balancing allows the child to grow up to be a responsible or an irresponsible adult. So I think the other thing that people need to keep in mind is while they're parenting, to be able to give the right kind of messages out to the child and allowing children to learn that little bit of management, even if it's 10 rupees in a week that they are allowed to spend, management of that 10 rupees will go a very long way in securing their future. Gaurav, do you feel that kind of pressure? Because obviously a lot of your money is pre-decided, the expenditure is pre-decided because you've invested in a car, in a house, and various other things. So do you feel that pressure that, okay, I don't have extra money to, buy the latest gadget in the market or, the latest brand or some clothing available or
Yeah,
more?
I feel so because a few of my friends said they are swapping a credit card and buying their mobile for $20,000, like 20,000. And I'm using a phone of 14,000 because I'm saving and managing as well. But at the end of the month, I feel that that is my money and I have invested. The satisfaction comes at last.
So there is a certain amount of pressure, but you're saying that at the end of the month you kind of tell yourself that
And the main pressure nowadays, like for the past 3.5 years, the pressure was not there. But now the pressure is coming because MBA is must in the corporate world to survive. So I'm planning an MBA, but how will I manage my installments and how will I manage my home loan now? Because I'll start my MBA by June. So this will be
right now you're a lecturer and you take the classes in personality development, but you're planning to do your MBA as well.
Yeah, because MBA first, because at the end of the life, one needs to have the highest education.
वीडियो बना लो मुझे भी दिखा देना फिर मैं जा रही
Society.
No, but how are you going to manage finances? Like you said, this is something that you are thinking about.
The best thing is to utilize my weekend
Yes.
and do the part-time. The part-time and the executive program of part-time.
Well, I think Gaurav really thought out his life, planned it well, and I think kudos to lots of credit should be given to somebody as young as him who's taking responsibility and is kind of doing the right thing by the book literally. We're going to take a short break, but continue our discussion on how Delhi is managing their money.
आप भी ताली बजा रहे हो,